as a record keeping tool, these things, that the way that they allow you to go back and see what you did last week, you know, they sort of, and you can constantly inform the decisions you're making based on what you've done in the past.
Right.
So whereas if you've got that in a notebook that sits in the corner of your room, you know, you forget that sort of stuff. Whereas this thing here, you look at it every day and you scroll down and then you remind yourself, oh, that's right, I worked that out last week.
One thing is that there are some students who don't necessarily present very well but write very well. There are some students who do the opposite. So it's about choice. I don't think it's about any one thing. I think it's about having a number of tools. It's like a tool to go in your toolbox. You know, it's a number of, and this is one of the tools that you can use. I think the other thing is that I think everyone would agree that being a designer or being involved in the design professions, being able to produce good work is one proportion of being able to get a job or being employed as a designer. And there are many other things that you have to be good at to be able to get that employment. And one of them is marketing yourself, you know, building your own brand and you know, and your own philosophy around what you do. And this actually helps do that. It also helps you get your work in front of a much wider audience than it does just being in a room with the same people all the time. Whether that's going to happen in the first instance is debatable, but I think over a longer period of time, the feedback from a wider audience will happen. And with the live projects that we've been doing, we find it quite difficult. This whole group, not just the people in here, but the whole year is split into 3 groups, and they're working with 3 external clients. The blog gives the opportunity for the client to comment on the project as it's going along, in the same way as Steve just said the staff can. Now, trying to get clients to do that is another thing. Again, you know, we're having to educate clients and saying, well, look, you know, you can look back and you can use this as a way of communicating with the students. So I think it's an ongoing process.
About my reflections on the project and how I think having the camera has affected my life. As you can see, I hope, I'm just going to do a bit of a turn here. I'm in Ruakaka. I've escaped Auckland for the day. Sunglasses are on. The beach is gorgeous. So I thought I'd do this little reflection, and think I'm going to sort of talk about what I think the project could have been like without the mobile technology, and then how I possibly use the mobile technology. So without mobile technology, I would have had to do a lot more writing, and because I don't like writing, I suspect what would have happened is I would have skipped out a lot of my ideas, and I wouldn't have bothered, because I have thoughts and I think about them and then I discard them or I include them. So that's something I'm having to learn to do as a designer, is to document all my thought process. So I found with the actual mobile technology, being able to just pick up the phone, turn it on, video myself and talk to it like it was a diary, sort of Captain Kirk styles, that I can actually use the design process that people that maybe like to write actually find that a little bit easier to do. So it made it a whole lot easier for me to be able to video myself doing something, or video my thoughts about what I was doing and how I was feeling about the project. The biggest deal was having a mobile recording device that I could hold in my hand, and the fact that it was a video camera just made it all that much more usable. So yeah, it really, the other features of the phone, while they're awesome, I haven't fully utilised them as perhaps as much as I definitely have with a video camera. The video camera I'm very comfortable with. I'm comfortable talking in front of it. I'm comfortable articulating my ideas and my thought process in front of it. So that part of it alone for me has been the value. If that's all I got out of it, then I got a hell of a lot out of it, and it's been awesome.